Good morning. Hoping that this finds you well. Hoping that this finds you happy and excited and ready to crush a weekend because it's Friday, friends. It's Friday. It really doesn't mean a whole lot here, but just another weekend for us. I'm pretty sure the kids have to work through most of it anyway, so there you are. As we start to wander forward in our sobriety journey, at least for me, and my experience tells me a number of people like me, a number of people that I've journeyed with, as we start to wander forward, those little epiphany moments just start to happen, and those changes just start to bubble forward. And it's probably the most exciting part of our journey, especially early on, at least for me, again. The 24-hour day book that Sarah bought for me was meant to replace the original volume, the identical book that I carried with me. And certainly, I mean, I read through it for the first couple of years of my sobriety, always going back to it even after that. And yet, here I am, rereading it again in this next chapter of my sobriety, my recovery journey, and pages that I know I've skimmed before, or pages that I know that I've poured over before, are revealing new and fascinating ideas. And that's the journey that we begin to experience. You're walking through a grocery store and you bump into an old friend, somebody you haven't seen in years, and just the most off-the-cuff conversation to just reunite in a moment in the produce section puts you in mind of something that makes something click, and you're wide awake all over again. You read a passage that you've read 1,000 times before, and suddenly everything changes. Your entire view becomes anew. This is the journey of sobriety. We begin to wake up. We begin to open our eyes. We begin to experience things. Flavors become brand new. Scents become recollections to years past. It's a brilliant and exciting place to be when things start to click along. And it's been exactly that for me since I posted that 25-year thank you video. It's been a reawakening, if you will, to brand new ideas. And I don't want this to become political. I don't want it to become some place where I can preach. I shit posted yesterday again, and I instantly regretted it, but I left it up all day. I think I just took it down this morning. But that's what the internet's become for me anymore. It's almost a playground, and I'm guilty of stirring the pot. Anyways, this I hope to keep as a very sacred place, because as I spoke about in one of my earliest videos, I had to make the decision to go away from my passion for the 12th tradition and anonymity. To do this, I had to openly discuss my affiliation with my chosen program of recovery, and by doing so, I welcomed the opportunity that anybody could judge me, and by extension cast a bad opinion on the program of recovery that I've chose to call my own, and I've chose to use to bring myself back to this person I'm trying to be today, if that makes any sense. And I would never ever want to cast a bad shadow on my chosen program of recovery. It means too much to me. It's generational for me. To that end, I work diligently to try and keep this staying free, if that makes any sense. So, again, I mean, I say all this because as I was reading today, right here, working on my approach to a series on the 12 steps and 12 traditions, I want that. That's my goal. I want that thing to happen here. As I was reading today, it just knocked me over to see that the original foreword, as it was written, speaks so directly to our political unrest today. We're all affected by it. I mean, all you have to do is click on any social media timeline or turn on the news or talk to your neighbor, and everybody is deeply affected by what's currently happening in our political climate on our planet. I mean, are we going to experience World War III? Like, what's happening? And it's terrifying to consider. We're barely out of a global pandemic, and here we are now on the verge of massive global conflict. It's terrifying. And the original foreword, as penned by Bill W., speaks exactly to this idea, and I would love to share it with you if you'll indulge me. It's at the bottom of page 15 in the current edition of the 12 and 12, and it begins. Many people, non-alcoholics, report that as a result of the practice of AA's 12 steps, they have been able to meet other difficulties of life. They think that the 12 steps can be more than sobriety for problem drinkers. They see in them a way to a happy and effective living for many, alcoholic or not. They see in them a way to happy and effective living for many, alcoholic or not. There is, too, a rising interest in the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. Students of human relations are beginning to wonder how and why AA functions as a society. Why is it, they ask, that in AA, no member can be set in personal authority over another, and nothing like a central government can anywhere be seen? How can a set of traditional principles, having no legal force at all, hold the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous in unity and effectiveness? The second section of this volume, though designed for AA's membership, will give such inquirers an inside view of AA never before possible. I'm reading that this morning, and I'm thinking to myself, as CNN pours out more vitriol and, the bots all over Facebook and Twitter and the internet just continue to spew out more garbage and rhetoric. I'm thinking, like, here we are, recovery posse on Twitter. All we're trying to do is stay sober day at a time, man. The Facebook threads that I'm currently a part of, all we're trying to do is stay sober a day at a time. And how many of us are checking in on other people that we know are struggling? That's our only motivation for tuning into the internet that day, right? Look around your living room and see how many people are staring at a device, and what are you doing? You're checking in on, Bob S., making sure that he's still doing okay because you knew he was struggling yesterday and you can't get to a meeting. So that's your only source of really reaching out and keeping sober. It's a fascinating thing that we've been able to accomplish here, man. No central governments. Nothing but just genuine concern for another drunk struggling, for another addict, if you will, struggling. I'm not going to banter about terminology and stuff like that. It's what I'm used to using, and that's just comfortable for me. And having said that, I'm no expert, man. I'm just 25 years in, trying to get 26, you know? And I'm doing that by trying to give this thing away. You know, the world's going to hell in a handbasket around us. And all I care about is getting down here to get this on the internet to try and, you know, reach out to one more drunk and help you get through another day. There's a young lady that I saw on my Twitter feed this morning who wrote X amount of days clean and sober, posted a beautiful picture of her bright, shining smile. And I was so happy to see this beautiful picture of this amazing person just working toward one more day of sobriety, and how willing this person was to share it with everybody else. And I'm sitting next to my wife, and I lean over and just, you know, connect in that moment where we're sharing breakfast together. And it occurred to me, never say never. That was one of the first things that I got told. Never say never. So I had to respond to that, you know, because in her tweet she wrote, you know, never going back, never doing that again, never going to drink again. And I was told to be very cautious with that early on. So instantly I wanted to share that wisdom with somebody else. And it wasn't my wisdom to share, it was passed on to me. So I wrote that and I tweeted it back, you know, never say never. I never want to be the guy that I was when I took my last drink. Certainly. I never want my family, my wife and my children to experience that person in this home ever again. I never want to give that individual, that person who took that last drink in that moment, never want to give him space in my life ever again. I've been very passionate about my feelings for that person. Beyond that, I can only accomplish those things, and I can only put those goals into practice and into I can only realize those goals by staying sober just for today. It's all I have is just today. I don't have tomorrow. It's not even promised. I have reflection from yesterday, but today I can stay sober. I can do the work necessary to do that, right? And it's amazing to me that that's the function of our society. That's who we are. While everything else is going to hell in a handbasket, here we are trying to keep each other sober a day at a time, right? Anyways, I'm going to hit the stop button on this one, guys. Just wanted to share that one with you today. I don't want to beat anybody up over a great weekend, man. Go out there and have a great one. Get the sunshine on your face. Enjoy it. It's Friday, man, and we should be looking forward to a lot of smiles in the next few days and some relaxation. So it works if we work it one day at a time, man. Take care, guys. I'm cheering you on. Bye.